In this podcast episode, Josh and Nick Alexander discuss their political activism and the challenges they have faced as advocates for the Save Canada organization. They talk about their involvement in organizing protests and the backlash they have received from administrative bodies, mainstream media, and law enforcement. The conversation sheds light on their battle for Christian ideals and family values in Canada and the world at large. Josh and Nick talk about their experiences with the public education system and the impact of lockdowns and mask mandates on their generation. They discuss the mental health challenges faced by young people and the negative effects of social isolation and online activities. They also highlight the lack of confidence and courage in today's youth and the importance of being a responsible role model for them. The conversation delves into the events surrounding the Freedom Convoy, where Josh and Nick organized walkouts in protest against the mandates and vaccine requirements. They describe the resistance they faced from the school administration and the suspension of students who participated in the walkouts. They also share their experiences of being targeted by the police and the challenges of standing up against authoritarianism. The podcast also touches on the involvement of their parents, who are both school teachers, in the political activism. Josh and Nick discuss the suspension of their father from his job due to his online actions and the investigation of their mother for removing a pride flag from her classroom door. They highlight the targeting of their parents by the school board as a form of retaliation for their own activism. The conversation then shifts to a recent protest where Josh and Nick were physically attacked by a group of Antifa members. They describe the police's failure to intervene and protect them, as well as the challenges of maintaining composure in the face of provocation and violence. They also discuss the lack of support from the police and the bias towards the radical left, as well as the importance of staying grounded and maintaining the high ground in such situations. Josh describes the incident where he was attacked and cut with a bladed glove during a protest. He shares his experience of being detained and the lack of medical attention he received. The brothers discuss the impact of their activism on their education and personal lives. They talk about the suspension and exclusion orders they have faced from their school board and the legal battles they are fighting to challenge these decisions. They also discuss the support they have received from organizations such as Liberty Coalition Canada and the challenges they have faced in pursuing their education. The conversation continues with the brothers sharing their experiences growing up in Canada and attending school. They talk about how they were nicknamed Freedom by their peers due to their reputation as activists. They express their dissatisfaction with the education system, which they believe produces docile and weak individuals. They also discuss the demoralization of young men and the lack of ambition in today's youth. The brothers talk about their efforts to reach out to young people and organize events at schools. They explain how they use social media to connect with students and plan their protests. They have seen exponential growth in the number of people attending their events, with thousands of students showing up to support their cause. They also discuss their interactions with political leaders and their disappointment with the lack of support from politicians. They believe that the education system is failing to address the cultural and societal issues that young people are facing. They emphasize the need for strong leadership and the importance of standing up for what is right. The conversation then shifts to the role of the education system in shaping young minds. Jordan Peterson highlights the influence of faculties of education on teacher certification and the need for reform in this area. He emphasizes the importance of ethical orientation and the need for young people to stand up for their beliefs. The brothers share their plans for the future, including organizing more protests and events. They also discuss their goal of starting a YouTube channel to reach a wider audience and engage in long-form discussions on important issues. They express their desire to continue learning and growing while staying true to their beliefs. In closing, the brothers offer words of encouragement to young men and women, urging them to stand up for what is right and maintain self-respect. They emphasize the importance of maintaining discipline and focusing on improving oneself while sparking change in the world. They also share their faith and the belief that they are fighting from victory and encouraging others to join the winning side.